Hello, everybody, and welcome to Anime Sickos. It's the podcast for geniuses and the only podcast where we look at the four pillars of modern misery: anime, gaming, posting, and jobs. I am Tom, an anime sicko.
I am Joe, an anime sicko.
Joe, hit me as succinctly as you can with your definition of what an NFT is.
An NFT is an expensive promise to a JSON file where people can trade and buy the idea of Crazy Bones.
You know when you're like, your cousin Joshi would be like, some kid at my school has a Speedy and like, oh shit, Speedy's rare. And they're like, get this, but it's like a green see-through Speedy, and you're just like thinking about that Speedy and going like, holy shit. Now what if having that imagined thought of the green see-through Speedy was the same as owning the Speedy?
Let me tell you what it would cost. $8,000.
It would. It's holy shit. This shit's so dumb. I mean, I don't think this is new to anybody that these things are fucking stupid. But man, I thought that the course had been run. Like, I thought that the NFT bubble had already burst.
Yes, that's the thing, is I felt like this had already collapsed. The people who were Chuck E. Cheese and not the people playing skee ball got their money. And it was over now. That scam has happened. But I guess we're back, baby.
Yeah, man, because you saw the initial explosion of NFT people being like, buy our stupid shit, and there was like that one guy who would make these really gaudy like 3D modeled images of like Elon Musk having a huge dick that was like out and you could see it. And then there was like celebrities getting in on it, and then everyone yelled at the celebrities, and they're like, our publicist did that without our permission. I'm so sorry. And it's like, and now we're done, right? No. There was a post that we saw that is an undercover wife post. Who would have thought? Such a confluence of the spheres here. From a guy called K Monkey 1520, who I gotta say, what a king. This is a 6-day-old post by now. It's still up, dude. We screenshotted it just in case, but we didn't have to. It's live. It is a guy who says the following in his post. Please don't tell my wife. Automatically an incredible like that gets you to like an A- no matter what. You can stop typing there.
Like clanging two big pots together, saying there's a funny story about to happen.
Please don't tell my wife. I decided to buy an $8,000 lion JPEG instead of that hot tub she wanted. Before I go any further, let's just take a moment to really reflect on what's happening here. This guy's wife was like, honey, I would love to be hot and nude next to you. That would really get me going. Let's get a hot tub so that we can eat cheeses in the hot tub and feel each other's bodies in a sensual way. I think that would be a great experience for us.
Is that how people talk?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like probably. I've never heard anyone do that, but I've never known anyone who wanted to buy a hot tub either, so who knows how these minds work. Well, what?
Obviously, there's cousins of this post, which I've seen on Reddit, which are the Bitcoin people who are like, my wife doesn't know that the college fund is gone. But I like this a lot better. And the reason is, it's not like someone's future. And a hot tub is like legitimately the most fun object. Like to like stop that from happening.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's easy to laugh at because no one's hurting. No one's suffering because their hot tub is gone. It's not like instead of buying food this month, I bought the lion JPEG. It's like if you have $8,000 in the bank for that is earmarked hot tub, you're fine. Like you're gonna be okay. So it's ethical to laugh at this. And yeah, like it is an item that like literally the highest strung you can be in a hot tub is like, I was mad, but now I want to get in the hot tub so I can unwind a little bit. Like, it is a completely vibe-based experience that can only be pleasant. But this guy bought an $8,000 lion JPEG instead of that. And it continues. We're not done. The next sentence, which is hilarious because you know that it's like sort of meant in like a joking way. Like, this guy thinks he's telling a joke. He wants you to laugh at it. But like, it's just literally true. Trust me, she won't understand. Like, how could... Yeah, how could she?
Doesn't matter what you bought instead. The hot tub's not showing up. You're the devil. It's your fault. Summer is ruined. You fucked it up.
I know you wanted me to sell the cow for money, but I got these magic beans, and they tell me that there is a giant up there, and we will have to fight him, and he is huge. But if we kill him, we can take his gems and precious gold. After this, he does #roar. He then does the emoji of the grimacing guy going like, ee. Then he does the emoji of the laughing guy with like the sweat bead. Then he does the emoji of the $ face guy, and then there's an emoji of a lion, and then a top hat, and then a king, and then the critical tag at Lazy Lions NFT, and then finally the attached image, the $8,000 boy himself. Joe, describe this thing to me.
Well, it looks like shit, Tom. He's doing the first of all, the lion has the tongue that's like very long and it's dripping. It's doing the forbidden manga thing. What's that term?
It's doing ahegao face. This lion is coming.
Yeah.
He's got that horrible hentai drip where they just like put weird drips over. Like, this is not how any fluid behaves. His tongue is so drippy with like the thickest goop.
I can't even imagine what condition you would have to produce that much goop. He's wearing a I'm not fucking done. He's wearing a fishing hat that says lazy. And his complexion, his texture is that he looks like he's like a hologram. He looks like a Halo shield. Like
fuck. I was gonna say he looks like a lizard. Like, these are lizard skin. Okay, so what it is, like, objectively, is he's got little hexagons drawn all over his face, and he's like some sort of green to blue gradient. You know, like a lion?
I assumed the blue part in the center was the strongest part of the shield.
That's true. That makes sense. Because it's over his brain. You want to protect that.
And you pointed this out to me. Is this lion the UKIP logo?
Yeah, he's got like a soccer jersey or something on. And there's like a lion on the breast pocket. Like a stylized picture of a lion. Makes sense, being that he is a lion. But someone in the comments pointed out, is that the UKIP logo? UKIP, of course, being the British racism party.
It was the Nigel Farage or whatever that guy is.
Yeah, him. Yeah, that's what that fucking lion is. It's the UKIP line. I just want to make it clear. As we mentioned, he had a fishing hat on that says lazy on like the ribbon. This fucking hat is drawn to be barely on the lion's head. It looks like they drew it in a different layer on Photoshop, and then before they exported it, they like accidentally like moved the layer up half an inch. It's terrible.
Spoilers, that's how all of these are made. They're just little layer adjustments that you then sell.
Yeah, speaking of all of these, Joe, I think it's time that we reveal the truth of Lazy Lions, which is there's fucking thousands of these, and they all look they all look this bad.
Like, you can look at this and just see exactly where the layers start and stop, right? Like, it's... Mm-hmm. You can see the seams on this thing.
Every single mane is the same. Every single nose is the same. The things that are different are the eyes. Those can change. The headwear, that can change. And then sort of the mouth section. And the mouth has like a Homer Simpson effect where it's like the entire mouth is surrounded by like a thick border and then all the stuff inside is a different color, which is supposed to be like the lion's snout. But it really makes it easy to swap in shit without having to change the main actual part. One thing that I love is that, I don't know if this is randomized, like it's a random create a character, like when you hit random in Dark Souls and you see a freak and you hoot, or if someone is like deciding which assets to put on the fucking lion template.
They need to change random to just the freak button.
Yeah, so many of these lions have fucking weed eyes, dude. Like all of them have weed eyes. It's incredible.
Yes. Like, it's like the default, I think. I'm scrolling through. So are they all $8,000? Is my question. And the reason I ask is that there are some that are objectively less shittier in this thread. Like, I'm not saying any of them are worth that money, but some are closer to being worth $8,000 than the one he picked.
I'm seeing one that's doing the ahegao face, but it doesn't have the dripping on the tongue.
Which is worse somehow.
Yeah. Also, these lions are not lazy. I'll say it right now.
No, they're... first of all, they're fucking cool. it's
Shut up. Not even as a joke. They're okay. I'm looking at one that is sort of like giving a devilish grin, but like the mouth part is spattered with blood. I really don't think that's appropriate.
I don't. And you know, who do you write a scared letter to? That's the other problem with the NFTs. There's no magazine you can complain to.
So we've been talking a lot about how these lazy lions are terrible. They're really ugly. That's all true. But, you know, then, of course, there's the very similar NFT line, the Evil Ape.
Yeah, and these took everything that was wrong with the Lazy Lion NFT series and fixed it. I have no notes. These are really good.
Yeah, they're clean as hell. They look great. I love these apes.
One of them's smoking.
A great investment, too, by the way. Like, I just put a couple K into the Evil Ape. Oh, no! Oh, Joe, horrible news.
What's that?
The Evil Ape, the guy who's in charge of it, it was a big scam, and he stole all our money.
Well, first of all, let's take a moment to think about how this is going to affect the Evil Apes community and their ability to form lasting human relationships.
Because that is a really underrated part of all these terrible lions, is that the fucking wife post with the lion has a bunch of people making fun of it. As you would imagine from a bad post. But there's a lot of people being like, spent 10K on my awful lion, and you see like 1,000 replies, and you click through the replies expecting to see a bunch of funny dunks, and it's literally all just other lion people being like, wow, it's a beautiful lion you got. I'm so proud of you, king.
Yeah, everybody just lines up for a high five. It's very positive. It's very positive.
One of the more supportive communities you can be a part of these days. So yeah, I think it's very important that the Evil Ape community isn't left in the lurch. This is really helping a lot of people. It's like, you know how people say that churches have a great utility, even if you don't have faith, in just being a community for people who would otherwise be left alone. This is sort of the modern day faith Evil Ape is.
Yeah, you just need 10G.
Yeah, so what happened is some other guy, he made some shit called Evolved Ape, where he's going to sell terrible apes. And Joe, I think we could be pretty secure that surely this isn't a scam also. I mean, how could they both be scams?
An evolved ape would be closer to me, which is not interesting.
Yeah. And to break the bit of it, every time I see some of this Evil Ape news, I keep thinking of Concerned Ape, who's the guy who made Stardew Valley, and I'm like, what's wrong? What happened to him? But then I get faked out because it's just the terrible ape with like Supreme streetwear, smoking weed, and I have to know that someone paid $10,000 for it. Also, apparently, people are continuing to fucking trade their apes, and every time they do, 4% of the purchase price goes to the scammer, he's like done the sting and has like ridden off in his fucking convertible with $ sacks in the back seat that are so full of money that even with the fucking top of the sack cinched up, little $100 bills keep flitting out into the air as he drives down the desert highway laughing. Even as he's already done that, people are like putting money in manila envelopes and writing "To the Scammer" in crayon and putting them in the mail.
Oh my god. He's charging them a POG handling fee. It's so fucking funny.
Wait, okay. When you say POG, do you mean like,
slammer
pogs?
I mean
like,
slammer. I don't know the other term anymore. I smoothed that part of my brain out.
Yeah, you don't even know what it would mean to handle one of those. Fuck. Another great post about NFTs lately that I really like. It's from a guy called NDYXNFT. I'm going to imagine this is a guy named Andy, hence NDY. Also, his fucking handle is Andy.
And you put NFT right in the front. Loves being tricked.
Oh, also the at in the Twitter handle is the A. I'm a detective, folks. I'm Columbo, and I've cracked the case. He has posted an incredible take, which is taking a screenshot of an NFT, which, if you hadn't put it together, is the hard counter to this whole fucking thing. Taking a screenshot of an NFT is the digital version of posing in front of someone else's Lamborghini.
Like I don't give a shit about cars. Like, I do not, especially like fancy ones, but you cannot just like steal cool valor just by saying this is like a Lamborghini. That is such, oh man. And there's a lot of people who agree.
Yeah. Because like his avatar, Andy NFT's avatar, is an NFT, and it is a horrible monkey whose eyes are Spider-Man's eyes, who is wearing a blue headscarf and is wearing the shirt that French people wear. It looks like it was drawn in 10 seconds.
This guy got kicked out of the Gorillas.
Yeah, for real. This is okay. If the Gorillas had like a storyline where like or like fucking 2D like got like died or fired for whatever reason, and they had to do like a Mystery Man style audition, like is at the beginning of the All-Star video where they're trying to find a new freak to be in Gorillas, and they have to have like 3 or 4 absolute chumps come up and embarrass themselves before like the real guy shows up. That's who this guy is, who Andy considers as cool as a Lamborghini.
Yeah, and everyone wants a piece of it. Like, the world is trying to diminish what is his.
I think the funniest thing about the right-clicking and saving as on NFTs, so that every time someone posts, look at my cool new NFT, you just reply with their fucking picture again. The funny thing is that no one would ever actually want any of them. They all look like shit.
Yes.
It's just for spite, which I really respect.
Yeah, and like what you just said, the just copying and just pasting it again and again, like that joke has been done, but you have to do it. Like, that's part of this whole enterprise. You have to do that. I see that someone posted. This is, I believe, a cum tribute.
Yeah, said, how much is it worth now? And they have photoshopped image of some cum globs on top of the monkey. And like, it's so stupid because this guy is like, lots of people dunk on me. Many consider me a clown. But consider this. Do you not support the idea that one can own art? And it's like,
the rebuttal is, generally speaking, if you were like throwing out a rhetorical question or trying to split something like that, you've kind of already lost, is my take.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, when being faced with your choices, And you're like, shouldn't we as a society agree that it's a thing? It's like, all right, there's nothing there.
Also, I thought that we had already sort of solved the problem of infinitely reproducible media, which is to say, owning the rights to something.
That's, I think we can't. Disney does. Disney does that.
I mean, no one can do it, but the idea that I own this JPEG and like this JPEG is what I own, not the rights to like fucking photographers, like Getty Images owns images.
Right.
But like it's not like we have one and we have to like, if you want to use it for your news story, we have to lend it out like from the library. You can have your own one if you pay us. And also, the Lamborghini thing, if there was a camera where if I could pose in front of the Lamborghini, I could reach into the picture and pull out a Lamborghini that had exactly the same functionality as the original one, then yeah, you would be a stupid fucking clown to actually buy a car. Are you kidding me? Who would do that, you idiot?
I would download a car. In fact, the only person who doesn't download a car is an idiot. The one person who buys the car is the schmuck.
Yeah, and they're going to go online and post about how you're all so stupid to download his car. But like that doesn't change the fact, man, I got my Lambo right here. I paid nothing for it. I put cum on your monkey. Like what? Like where is this ownership you claim to have? Because it doesn't exist. Fuck.
All this is to say, it's coming for everything. It's going to get worse.
Yeah. Like you've been talking about NFTs specifically as though they were a uniquely stupid thing. And it's easy to think that because they are quite a lot stupider than anything else that has ever happened. But like they represent like the system working as ever.
Like they're honestly only like what, 2 years old, something like that. But mentally they feel like they've been here forever. And there will be more things just like that. There will be new commodities made from nothing to make fake digital scarcity. And what sucks is it's not going to always be as funny as like the horny lion.
Yeah. Like an NFT is essentially the same as how like venture capitalists in Silicon Valley just slosh around more money than me and everyone I care about will ever have, just back and forth between fake companies investing in fucking shitty ventures that could never possibly turn a profit. And the money just goes back and forth, sloshing between the same couple hands forever, achieving nothing, causing immense amounts of waste. And now, if you just take those descriptions, that's exactly NFTs. Like, it's the same. It's just not as funny. And also, as sort of realizing the pattern, it makes you see, like, oh, NFTs are not an anomaly. It's just like, this was always going to happen. Like, there was always going to be some stupid shit that sucked. Like, that's the only thing that is going to ever happen.
Yeah, I mean, the game here is to just make scarcity when there isn't. And, like, one of the things about the internet is that shit is infinitely reproducible. Mm-hmm. And it's not like they're stopping the flow of JPEGs, thank God. But it's just completely, like, counterintuitive to that. Just like the idea that I have to own a thing. Like, you have to... It has never occurred to me that, like, my enjoyment of something digital could be improved by just, like, its relative scarcity. And I know, like, it's not actually scarce. I know, like, you can just grab them. But let's say, somehow, the JSON link was actually, like, a beautiful, shimmering line in a vault. Like, It's actually that. Who fucking cares that it's yours is the only one, especially when it looks like shit?
I mean, like, to me, it's not even the scarcity thing that's unique about this. I mean, like, there's going to run out of ways to sort of remix fake digital scarcity in order to trick people into moving money around and slashing it up into the rich people's hands. I think it's even more broad than that. That just like everything everything that could happen that's stupid will happen because stupid things are the only thing that is allowed to happen. Because, like, if you think about, like, well, what would a smart thing or, like, a thing that made sense be? Like, what would that represent in the world? Like, well, obviously, Something that's like smart and good and makes sense.
It would be NFTs, but they do carbon capture. That would be cool. I mean, that would be the best situation.
I'm not like it would be like, why don't we fucking do the fucking obvious things? Why don't we house and feed human beings? Like that's a smart thing to do. If you think about the world for a second, you'd be like, well, the fact that people are homeless and hungry is really a big problem. And we should give them food and give them housing. It's like, well, that's not going to happen because that's not going to make a profit. So, like, obviously, like, that's just off the table. That's not going to happen. Because, like, what's important is that we make money now. What's important is the short-term money making right now. And, like, anything that makes sense, like, well, if it did make money, it would have happened by now because it makes sense. Yeah. So everyone has had the idea. So obviously the people who are in charge have had the idea and decided, no, we're not going to do any of that shit. So the only things that are left to happen are stupid things. And in addition to profit, shit has to be novel. So that's how you get NFTs, where you're just like, damn, I know the recipe for a big, stupid fraud that sloshes money around. But I run out of flavors. Maybe I'll make it even dumber, and I'll put an ape on it. And there we have it.
And like, why does this continue to perpetuate? Well, didn't like Lil Nas he's doing one, right? Like he has an NFT. He's saying like, look at my NFT.
Yeah, Lil Nas X did like an NFT version of his album, and like this is a motherfucker who we thought was one sort of like a young person who got it, and also is like an exceptionally online person. Like one of the
he's really good at marketing. He knows what he's doing. Like I mean, he's good at posting. He's the reason I think he's so effective online is that he's walking circles around every interaction by just like with posting energy, and it doesn't feel fake. It of course is, like everything.
Yeah, it was a fucking Nothing good can happen, dude. If something good could happen, it would have.
But at that same time, can you blame him? Because, like, he's at a part of his career when he has incredible, like, clout and fame and opportunities, and there's a big lever on the wall that says free JPEG money. And, like, do you blame him for, like, not grabbing it? I'm just saying, like, every famous person is going to have the lure of doing these increasingly stupid digital assets. It's going to feel like kind of like cash for gold, but like, I don't know, more diffuse and smaller scale.
Yeah, I mean, it's all that's the thing. I think that's the key. It's all cash for gold, which is to say, a big fucking stupid scam that hurts people and it can only cause harm. And that really is like, that's the only output of the capitalism black box. You can input whatever hopes and dreams and policies and plans you have, but when you put it in the black box and turn the crank, fucking NFTs are going to come out every single fucking time. Because all that matters is, does this make profit? Is this novel? And those two things, when you put them in the stew, are gonna make some fucking noxious poison every single time. And they're gonna be like, God, what could we have done to salvage this stew? Well, we're certainly not gonna change the ingredients. Fuck.
Can I end this segment with a really good dire capitalist image that I stumbled upon as I was walking from work?
Sure, why not? What if I said no one day? I'm just like, no, I hate that idea. No, go for it.
I'd be like, okay, be shorter. I was walking down, I think it was State Street, and there was an open building, and there was Halloween shit in it. And I was like, oh, Spirit Halloween, that classic thing. I looked up, no, man, it was a Spirit Halloween knockoff. It was Halloween Hallway. This sort of derivative thing, this thing where it's just like, oh, there's a different competing way to monetize the rot, which is what Spirit Halloween is. It's awesome because it's like it's a release that is in a vulnerable position. Hell yeah.
We're gonna sell a bunch of shitty masks that smell bad.
Yeah, this place will smell like rubber forever now.
Don't let any of this fabric touch your skin. It is not rated for human contact.
Everything will get Halloween hallwayed. Like that's NFTs are just a type of Halloween hallwaying.
Yeah, if buying steaks in Uber expecting that to pay off is Spirit Halloween, buying a lazy lion and expecting that to pay off is fucking Halloween hallway.
Yes.
Sicko mode, sicko mode, sicko mode. 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 Folks, we're going to do what is almost an ad, in that it is something that we have been paid to say. That's kind of like an ad.
We're just dancing for money.
But unlike an ad, what we're about to read is not going to sell you something. And also, there's like something like a 1 in 7 billion chance that the ad even applies to you at all. Because the target audience for this is just one person. That's going to be Sicko listener and previous guesto Angela Quinton. Because on October 16th, which is, as the time of the release of this episode, 3 days from now, Angela will be running her first 50-mile ultra-marathon race in the mountains around Squamish, British Columbia. And Angela asked us if she could fucking have us say this shit. And we said, sure. And is this price good? And she was like, yeah. And so now, she's hearing it. Now, for the first time, in the middle of the race. The race is happening now.
So Angela has been training for this race since the beginning of 2020, and she's listened to Anime Sickos during each weekly long run. She says hearing us talk about the 4 pillars of modern misery was a welcome antidote to the boredom of training in southern Ontario, which she claims is a giant golf course where every hole is a Tim Hortons or a gravel pit. That's probably true.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy golf course, I would imagine. Those are much bigger than the standard hole.
Yeah. I wouldn't even get different clubs.
Now that she's in the race, and let's be honest, suffering, she's probably regretting the decisions that led her there, and she's ready to lay down and let the bears claim her. Well, Angela, here's where all those hours of listening to Anime Sickos pay off. Running an ultra marathon is a task that maps perfectly to the 4 pillars of modern misery. Editorializing here, all activities map perfectly to the 4 pillars. That's why
it's a flawless schema.
Yeah, that's why there's only 4. If there was something that didn't map to them, we'd have to invent a 5th pillar that covered that, but we don't. Anyway, you can use your knowledge of the pillars to survive.
Anime. What could be more anime than spending too much time on a meandering path, overcoming contrived hardships, and escaping a place called the Pain Cave, only to arrive at a conclusion that everyone knew about long before you started? An ultramarathon is a perfect place to surpass your limits.
Gaming. At its core, gaming is about generating numbies and paying attention to when those numbies change, specifically going up. Angela, what is your current mileage? Your average pace? How far to the next aid station? How long until you start doing math in your head to make your remaining distance seem smaller? If you care about numbies at all, you're gaming.
Posting. To post like a true master, you must live in the moment. Disregard the pain of the past mistakes and the fear of future consequences. There is only the present, the animal self, the hooting beast whose idiot impulses drive us forward. Every step you take is a kind of post.
And jobs. There's no metaphor here. You've spent longer training for this race than you've worked at your current job. You trained like you were getting a salary for it. You are a cog for running. And when you've spun enough, your reward is some energy gel goop and a participation trophy. A real one. Participation trophies, I thought, were just like a culture war signifier. They're real. That and the satisfaction of putting a big check mark in a box labeled 50 miles. Holy shit, that is very satisfying. Good work. No, seriously, good work. Even attempting to run that distance is crazy. Sometimes I try to run 5 miles instead of 4, and I'm just like, fuck.
I do the thing where you do math to make the remaining distance seems smaller, but immediately when I would run along the lake when I lived in Hell Tower, they have the mileage or the feet marker, and every time I see one, I was like, yeah, okay, well, let's divide that by 4, and that's about done. And we're about done.
Yeah. Angela, you had us do this bit so that you could have a little glowing gem to search for in the darkness when you are at your lowest. Hopefully, it worked. You're undertaking the most physically demanding thing you've ever attempted in your life. More demanding than anything we've ever done. But you're going to succeed because you got the training, you've got the support of your friends and family and coach, and the 4 pillars. All that's left is for you to go sicko mode.
Go for it. You can do it. You've probably already done it. It's easy now.
Yeah. Like it's probably done already. In fact, like, for the vast majority of existence where this episode is around, it's gonna already have been done. So like, you've basically, like, if you look at the numbers, like, statistically, percentage wise, it already happened and you did it. So like, congratulations.
Yeah. I think if an EMP happened, you'd be a liar.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we gotta hope.
Fruit. By definition, the sweet and fleshy product of a tree or other plant that contains seeds and can be eaten as food. 48 combatants have been selected. 2 sickos will judge them. 1 will be crowned greatest fruit under the heavens. This is the Fruit Annihilation Tournament!
Yo, you thought we forgot about the fruit tournament? Well, you're right. We did.
We did. Someone tweeted about it. So, yeah, it's new again.
Yeah, there was a time a couple months ago where I was like, yo, Joe, if you feel like there's too much pressure to come up with an idea that has enough meat to go a whole hour, like, don't worry about it, because like, we can always put in the fruit tournament. And you're like, oh, dope, that's true. And then we just kept coming out with, like, in classic dingers.
Yeah,
and it
we
just
didn't need
slipped
to
our
use
mind.
that. And little did we realize we had such a helpful tonic because we didn't have enough for a full app, so that we're reaching into the bag and we're using that trick Tom just described.
This is like when you're fighting like the RPG boss for like the 10th time, and you're like, God, I just can't beat this boss, so I have to go back and grind. I seriously have to go back and grind, and then like you hit item, and you're like, oh, I never use item. I never like go to the item screen, and you're just like, oh shit, I have a full heal. That's this.
That's what full elixirs do. Fuck.
So yeah, we're gonna do some of the Fruit Annihilation Tournament, which is now in the Sweet 16 round. Holy shit, this is round 3. There's only 16 fruits remaining. Now, there was a lot of fruits on this bracket that were, let's be, like, we can admit it now. At the beginning, we were like, who will win? It's anyone's game. We can admit it now. A lot of these fruits were jobbers.
I mean, someone pointed out online that we seeded them based on the preferences of the people who will do the judging, which is insane.
Like, the only criteria for who wins the fucking tournament is our preferences, which we've already made clear with the seeds.
And I'm going to be 100% honest. Until that was shown to me, I did not realize that.
Yeah, I didn't either, dude.
I did not make that connection. I did not realize how in control I was.
Oh, fuck. Well, I mean, we'll see. Maybe it's been so long since we made this bracket, and also our brains are so fucking shitty. There's such low quality items that we've probably forgotten why we rated things where we did, and probably have different opinions now.
We bought sliced dragon fruit, and who cares? That part is still true. It was fine. Like, it was a whatever. It felt like I don't know. When you buy it sliced too, you don't see the cool like dragon seed effect. So it's just kind of like bad watermelon. Not bad, just like not wonderful.
Yeah. So enough fucking around. We got to do it. Let's start with revisiting the classic Killers region, which, as you may or may not remember, is where we have the fruits that are in books for babies, the fruits that you learn about when you're 2, the fruits that candy is flavored after.
Mm-hmm.
Show our first bout in the classic Killers region, and this really is like the prize fight. Like, this is where you put the strongest fighters, and it's starting to get serious now. Like, this is where you're starting to see Epstein's in the front row of the stands. Like, you're seeing Hillary Clinton in the front row of the stands. These are big money hitters seeing these fights because this is where it all happens. Because our first bout is the 1 seed Apple versus the 4 seed Cherry. Where are you at here? What's your who hits the first blow?
I would give it to Cherry. I would give it to Cherry on the basis. Oh, fuck, I don't know anymore, man, because I was about to say that Cherry has better dessert potential, but I don't believe that necessarily, and there's tons of good Apple stuff. This fight is so intense, I have to leave the arena.
This is okay. I gotta say I was kind of stunned I asked who hit first blow, and you handed me Cherry wins the bout, and I'm like, we're nowhere near who's winning the bout, dude. But I'm glad that you've reached this conclusion, because I believe it is the only correct conclusion, which is that immediately it's a Dragon Ball fight where they're both moving too fast to see.
Mm-hmm. And I'm rubbing my eye. I'm rubbing my eyes. I can't see anything.
Yeah, because holy shit, yeah. A cherry is a beautiful treat. That is a flavorful treat that is tangy and sweet and juicy and refreshing. Obviously, we love that. You can eat like 10 of them, which is always fun. It's fun to eat a large quantity of a given thing. Apple, however, so fucking versatile. So many different variety. You can get the tang and sweet tuned in just to your preference. You got apple cobbler. Joe, I went to the Italian ice place out fucking around the block, and I got Italian ice half horchata flavor, which you got that rice and cinnamon flavor, very subtle and delicious. And then the other half was apple crisp, which I didn't know what that was. As far as I can tell, it was Italian ice with fucking applesauce mixed in. You pair that half and half with horchata with that cinnamon flavor, that is one of the greatest, tastiest treats I've had all year.
There is no equivalent duo action that's happening for Cherry that stands up to apple and cinnamon. I think that is what you think there's something equivalent?
Consider this, Joe. Consider this. Cherries and chocolate. When you got that, you got the dark chocolate flavor and then the richness of the cherry, but also like the tanginess of the cherry to cut the bitterness of the chocolate. That is an incredible complementary set of flavors. Now, apples and chocolate, it just doesn't work. No one tries it because it's not worth doing. Consider that. What do you think of that?
Well, I don't think it needs chocolate because you just pour fucking caramel goop over it and put on a stick. That is the dessert version. That's my take.
That's a good take.
I've never gone cherry picking. I've definitely gone apple picking at the Indiana touristy stuff. Michigan has them too. It's fun. Every time I've gone, it's always been not the right time of year, where it's just you can tell the people before us had a great time. Can you go cherry picking like that? I've never done that.
I know that a cherry picker is what you call that sort of crane thing that you stand in a little booth that goes up. So probably. Okay, well, here's the thing, Joe. I tried to do apple picking. My wife and I were like, let's go on a little day trip, Let's just go somewhere close by for a weekend. Maybe rent a cabin or something so we don't get fucking the virus and have a little vacation just for us. That's something that would be good for us. It'll get us out of the house. We deserve that, right? Don't we deserve that? And so we tried to look up can you go apple picking? Turns out everywhere is booked up for the whole rest of the year, and we're not allowed, and we actually don't deserve that. And it made me feel very upset, and I didn't like it. So that's a strike against Apple for me.
Well, I think it's only fair that you try to go cherry picking right now. And we see how it fares.
Okay, I'm going to go on Google. I'm going to type in cherry picking.
Mm-hmm. You can put in your zip code so you can get the closest trees. Yeah, there you go.
Where can I go cherry picking in Chicago?
Nowhere, dumbass.
Merrillville Farms.
Isn't that where I went for apples? Are they two-timing?
Oh my god. Oh, holy shit. Maybe they are. Yo, maybe I got swerved on, Joe, because I'm looking at Merrillville Farms services, and they're showing me blueberries, corn, and pumpkin patch are their services at this time of the year. I can't go cherry picking either. Oh,
so that's
man.
a wash.
It's a wash, yeah.
Those cancel out.
Okay. Cherries are for slot machines. You get 3 cherries in the slot machine, you win a lot of money. You get 3 apples, that's confusing. Your slot machine doesn't exist.
Yes. Okay. Cherries are also a better booze fruit if you like the devil's rum.
Oh, also, yo, consider this. Apple-flavored candy, not green apple. Let's get rid of that, because that was its own competitor, and it's been eliminated by cranberries for whatever fucking reason. Apple-flavored candy is few and far between, and when you find it, sucks. Cherry candy is exclusively the best flavor of any sort of, like, fruit medley candy product.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the apple I like is green apple, which is, as we know, a different guy.
Mm-hmm. Your favorite apple, the apple you like, a different guy, you made lose to I don't remember why we had that happen. I'm looking at this bracket right now, and I'm just shaking my goddamn head. What is this? This is shoddy work.
I actually think we achieved true objectivity. We so divorced ourselves from our priors that we can't even recognize our logic.
Joe, I gotta tell you, I'm coming into this round with some bias, which is I think I want Cherry to win because I feel like cherries are an underrated fruit. Partially because they're not in season for quite as long as other fruits are. Apples you can get year round. Cherries is only some of the time. And cherries, it feels like, I don't know. It feels like most of the time there's sort of a flavoring or a cartoon depiction of cherries, and you don't see a lot of people like actually getting and eating a bunch of cherries, which you should, because it's such a delight. They're such a tasty treat.
I think it's the pits. The pits make it. I mean, I'm not saying it's a deal breaker for me, but I think that is what's keeping people from gobbling them in tens.
Yeah. I mean, apples have the core, dude. They have the core and that little stem and the weird little leaves at the butt. Those little leaves are weird.
You don't. Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah. I don't like getting close to those. When I have to bite the bottom and I'm getting close to the middle, I don't like that. What those leaves are like scratchy. Why are they like that?
Here's something you haven't brought up. Apples with peanut butter, delicious treat.
That's true. Okay.
Cherries with peanut butter, probably fucking gross. Why would you do that?
Yeah. Also, how are you going to scoop it? Like, if they don't have the structural integrity to be the scoop.
Yeah, and there's a fucking pit. It's a nightmare.
Fuck, Joe. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is we have 2 prestige class fighters, both of whom are at max level. There's no type advantage. You know, no one's doing double damage or half damage. It's like totally balanced. We can't see the fight. They're moving too quickly. One of them is just going to eventually fall out of the sky and hit the ground KO'd. Who is it? I don't know. I don't know if I can make this call. When you first broke, left or right, where are you going to go? You went with Cherry. Are you still there? Have you changed your mind?
If we think of fruit as sort of like an empire building activity, Apple definitely has put in the work. Like they're everywhere. They're year round everywhere. There's that story about the pervert who brought apples everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like it's part of the American mythos.
Well, that is a bad thing. America sucks, dude. America's a evil, racist insurance company.
For sure, but Cherry could not muster that level of PR. So is it like that good?
Hard to say. We haven't also mentioned that apples make cider. That's really good. You can get drunk off that. Fuck, dude.
If we think based on how I've been thinking lately, which is when all the supply chains go away, what's like the staples I should think about? I would pick apple over cherry.
Yeah,
I would.
yeah.
I would.
Yep. You're right. I think, god damn, I hate to just go with the seeds.
Again, like, the seeds are like what happens. It's like this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Notes to future Tom and Joe. Here are the winners.
Yeah, I mean, in this case, there's really no... Fuck. Sorry, cherry, but it's apple. Apple takes it. All right, Joe, you ready for round 2 of the Classic Killers Sweet 16 round? All righty. So we have strutting into the arena after that incredible apple versus cherry fight. All the Epsteins, when cherry fell out of the sky and hit the fucking mat, the big splurt of blood shot out and hit all the Epsteins who were sitting in the front row. They didn't wear their ponchos. So they're spattered with blood. They like it, actually. They've started hooting. And they're in that state of bloodlust when out from the entryway swaggers in the 3 seed of Strawberry. And the competitor, the sole remaining support class fighter in this tournament, that's going to be the 6 seed of Lemon. Joe, where are we at? What do you think? What is your first impression?
Lemon.
You can't.
Lemon. Lemon.
You gonna give me anything more to work with, or is just a single word?
Well, here's the thing. I've been cooking a lot lately, and I cannot imagine losing that utility of just having citrus, like, on demand. Like, you can just put it on chicken. It just makes it everything so elevated. How do you fucking compete with that?
I don't know.
If you do that with strawberry, you're a fucking freak.
It's true. Yeah, strawberries really are just strawberries. Like, when you're considering what will I do and what way will I engage with this strawberry, the answer is I will eat the strawberry, or possibly I will eat the strawberry on like a pastry. Here's the thing, Joe. As limited as that is, and as short-lived as the average strawberry is, you're gonna get a lot of yucky strawberries if you don't eat them right away. Strawberry's good as hell. Tastes really good. Sweet and tart. What more do you want out of a fruit? Also, I mentioned chocolate and cherries.
Yeah, but the
chocolate
real
and strawberries.
Yeah.
Now that is a killer duo. Is chocolate on this fucking bracket? No, it's not. That's ridiculous. We're so stupid.
Strawberries are, to me, the, like, epitome of nature's candy fruits. Like, that's what they are.
Yeah. Yes.
It
feels decadent to eat them.
Yes. Much more than grapes. I never understood why grapes were always like the most decadent, like Roman emperors getting fed grapes. Grapes are fine.
It's wine. It's because of wine, dude. It's because you make wine out of them.
Then the ones being fed to him aren't being used for that.
Yeah, that's part of the show of wealth. Intentionally wasteful.
I would rather be fed strawberries, for sure.
That's true. Yeah, I agree. Is this enough, though? Lemon is a medic class, and it may not have the DPS of the other fruits in this region, but it has auto self-heal. And I guess the question really is, it's a DPS check. Does strawberry have what it takes to overcome lemon's auto self-heal, which is to say its utility and medic abilities?
The problem is lemon's regen is insane. I don't think it can be done.
Yeah. I think we're looking at Zombie Man versus the vampire from One Punch Man, where like Zombie Man gets shredded to nothing with the vampire's ultimate attack, And then he just comes back. He just forms again. And he's like, "Oh, that sucked." And now we try to punch you, and he can't punch the vampire. The vampire cuts his fucking head off. Head grows back. He's like, "Here I go again." Eventually, the vampire just is like, I'm too tired. I can't lift my arms anymore. That's when Lemon takes the crown.
Rip to Strawberry, but I think it's just... I just think lemon is crucial to the world's cuisine in a way strawberry isn't.
It really is. It really is. I mean, consider like you're making a soup and you're like, almost done. And you taste it before you serve and you're like, it's just missing a little zing. You're not going to fucking pick a strawberry out and squeeze it over the soup. You would ruin the soup. You put a little squeeze of lemon in the soup, you've done just the opposite. The soup now whips ass. You've done it.
And they keep forever, lemons. Oh, not forever, but they're hardier. Strawberries, they fucking get shitty when you look at them the wrong way.
Yeah. Yeah. Bye-bye strawberry. So, okay. So one of the bouts, we have completely been a slave to our past decisions. Lemon, the 6th seed, is in the Elite 8 as of now. Now,
that means we've conquered fate. We've beat fate.
Yeah, we're Saber. Like, we're King Arthur. Hell yeah. So I think next we should do, because that was only 2 bouts. Let's real quick do 2 more bouts and knock out the Sweet 16 round of, let's do the big fruits. You know, I feel like big fruits.
Mm-hmm. Are these actually big ones?
2 out of 4. 2 out of 4.
Okay.
Our first round in the big fruits region, buddy boy, I gotta tell you, I'm feeling like the seeds have it. It's the number 1 seed of pineapple versus the number 4 seed of dates. Pineapple versus dates. Straight off the bat, grilled pineapple with tahine. We were told that it was not tagine. Tagine is a Moroccan dish that is spelled with a G. Tahine has a J, which, as we should have known, is pronounced H in Spanish. But we're quite stupid, so don't yell at us.
It is good on pineapple. Pineapple also has a thorns effect. When you deal damage to it, a portion of that is reflected back.
That's pretty strong.
That is good.
Joe, I gotta tell you, though, I recently got from Costco a bunch of these things called RX bars. Have you heard of these? These are just like these little breakfast bars or what have you. That's all it is like some dates, egg whites, chocolate, and like nuts that have been all like sort of mushed together into a bar. Now that is a nice treat that you can have guilt-free. I tell you what.
Those are what, RX bars?
RX, like a prescription for a good time.
I can't believe you would let Big Pharma trick you like that.
Fuck. Oh my God, you're right. Pineapple would never. It's got a cool punk haircut.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit in with the stuffy office setting.
Also, have you ever seen someone like prepare a pineapple with like a fucking machete?
I have. It's cool.
It's the coolest thing. It's basically the fruit you need a sword for. It's cool. Who gives a shit? Dates, not knife related.
Yeah, no, there's no real trick to them. They're really good, but pineapple is just so fucking special. And man, when you grill that shit and put tahini on it, you have okay. I said the RX bar was a prescription for a good time. If you're the party doctor and you really need to kick things into overdrive, the only prescription is grilled pineapple. This is insane. This is a massacre. All the Epsteins in the front row are like, see, this is why the classic killers were the bouts to see, and like Hillary Clinton leaves.
Mm-hmm. She saw the good ones.
Yeah, it's pineapple for sure. And I also just want to say that there's a One Piece character, Marco, whose head and hair resembles a pineapple, and people call him Pineapple Head. And he's kind of funny looking. He's a nice guy. He's a pretty good character. He shows up from time to time. He's pretty strong. And
doesn't Beach Boy in JoJo look like a fucking pineapple?
Yeah, the guy with he does. I forget that guy's name, but the guy who has the stand that's just a fishing pole. But anyway, Marco from One Piece, something like chapter like 1,000, maybe like 1,010 or something, or maybe it was like 990, near 1,000. There was a flashback where he was in his old pirate crew, when he was a young man. And they're all talking about what they're going to do next on their pirate adventure. And he is eating a pineapple. And the method by which he is doing this is he is holding the whole pineapple, uncut up, totally fucking whole. And he is taking big bites out of it like an apple, which is one of the funnier things I've ever seen in my life. Just wanted to say that.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Fuck. And that stomp out of the way, like it's a shame to even dwell on the specifics of that fight, because Dates are a strong and proud competitor, but they're no jobber, but they were still just destroyed. So moving along quickly, the final bout we're going to take care of today, that's going to be the 2 seed Mango versus the 3 seed of an actual big fruit, Watermelon.
Fresh mango was really something.
Yeah. When you have a good mango, you cut that thing up, you do the thing where you score it like checkerboard, and then you flip the peel inside out so all the little cubes are up for you to eat. You put some tahini on that when they're really juicy. No, I don't like to say that fruit is better than treats. I don't like to say that God can make a better dessert than man. And I'm not saying that that's the case. But a good mango gets close.
Supposedly, I don't know this because I don't snork drugs, but mango is supposedly a thing you eat before you get high to make it, I guess, better. I don't know.
I don't know about
I've heard that. I've heard that. I mean, worst case scenario, you've eaten a mango.
Yeah, that's a pretty good scenario.
Yeah.
All right, though, Joe, watermelon. I mentioned that the pineapple was a prescription for a good time. I would say the watermelon is the ultimate party fruit.
Yeah. Because you can follow whoever is carrying it to a party.
Yeah. I didn't connect it like that, but it's so true. Also, pineapple, you're required to do a lot of sort of precision cuts, and it is possible to cut the pineapple when you're cutting the peel off such that you like waste a lot of like good primo pineapple flesh. And it's also possible to shave off the skin too delicately such that there's like big chunks of like chewy skin still left on the pineapple that you have to deal with. Fucking watermelon, that's slice and dice, set it and forget it. You can't fuck that up.
True, but the name is no joke because it is mostly water.
Yeah, and on a hot summer's day, when you're partying outside, possibly on the beach, isn't that sort of refreshing, watery flavor what you need?
I guess that's true. This is now making me think about watermelon-flavored candy and how that's fake.
Yeah. You got wildly varying outcomes with watermelon-flavored candy. When you got a Jelly Belly, now that's one of the primo flavors because it's green and then you bite it and the inside is red, just like a pineapple. That's just like, that is Jelly Belly stunting on you with how advanced their manufacturing processes are, that they can vary the colors of the inside and outside that much.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think I mentioned on an earlier bout that watermelons, you put salt on them, they're even extra flavorful. The flavor just jumps out at you. Now, Joe, I left out this preparation in expectation that I would use it in a more difficult bout, which is now against mango. Now, here's one of my favorite ways to prepare watermelon. You cut it into like discs, not slices, but like a big flat like cross section. You put it on a plate. It's going to be the size of the whole fucking plate. You sprinkle salt on it as you do. Now, here's where it gets nuts. Here's where we get nutty with it. You take out your spoon and you like dig out a bunch of little divots throughout, like here and there, you kind of spread them out. So there's little chunks cut out everywhere. You try to get them into like little valleys, like little smooth valleys. Now, here's what you do. You get out some good, possibly if you can get your hands on it, like extra thick balsamic vinegar. You fill up those little divots with the balsamic vinegar.
They're flavor oases.
It's motherfucking flavor oases, Joe. You get your spoon and you go on a flavor extravaganza.
That's a scenario you're doing that with friends too, what you're describing. That has sort of fun implications for watermelon. The thing is, Winnie really likes mango. Like, that's a no-nonsense reason.
Yeah, I mean, Joe, I've been talking about all this fun watermelon stuff you can do, how watermelon's a party fruit, how watermelon is arts and crafts, and you can put balsamic vinegar in it, and it tastes very good. Now, you might take all of that to mean that I favor watermelon in this bout. I'm right back to apple versus cherry. I have no idea, because the fact remains, mango on its own with nothing is one of the best foods on the planet. Such strength and depth of flavor, so sweet and juicy. Also, easy to carry. Watermelons, very difficult to carry. If you're not going to the party, and if you're buying anything else, buying a watermelon is going to make your trip back a pain in the ass.
Logistically, it sucks.
Yeah, buying a mango, that's easy. I can buy 10 mangoes. I don't even give a fuck. Put them all in a bag. Mangoes are oh, shit. I just remembered the mango pineapple pie from Jollibee.
Yeah, that's good. That's just citrus everything, and it's just sugary slop.
There's actually no citrus at all. I don't know what you're talking about. Citrus is lemons.
There's a Jollibee moving downtown.
That's true. Yo, I got to go to that Jollibee again and get that mango, and because that pie, it's one of those fast food pies, but it's just like a deep fried little pocket of fruit goop. So you'd think that like the ceiling isn't that high. Oh, buddy, it's great.
Also, because the McDonald's apple pie is like a classic and generally good, so you have a high expectation because they're good. Those McDonald's apple pies.
You have a high expectation, but you don't have. Rather, I think a more accurate thing is you have a very locked in expectation. Your range of possible expectations is very small because you're expecting the reliable McDonald's apple pie experience, and then you are thus blown away when it exceeds it so massively.
Correct. Mango. I think it's mango.
I'm already going to get in trouble. I'm getting in trouble for eliminating dates and cherries in this round. And
but
we can't have.
I am gonna slice a watermelon slice-wise and get the fellas. We're all gonna line up around the balsamic watermelon and just drink out of it like cool guys.
It's so the real treat is at the end when you have eaten your entire disc of watermelon. You have just this big ring of rind that you throw in the garbage. You look at your plate and you have a big pool of yummy pink balsamic water to drink. Now that is a delicious drink to quaff in the heat of the summer, I tell you what.
Watermelon loses though.
It does. Like, as I said, I'm going to get in trouble for eliminating cherry and dates. We can't have both sickos becoming wife infuriators. Mm-hmm. We have to make some concessions here. Also, I think, honestly, mango's the better fruit. Let's be real.
Mm-hmm. It's also good with tagine, the thing we can't say.
Yeah, it's really good. It's also it's good with tahini. It also would be good in a tagine. I'm going to say it right now. A mango and a tagine, that probably tastes great. Shit, dude. So that is the classic killers and the big fruits sorted. Next time we do the Fruit Annihilation Tournament, we will have the Elite 8 all ready to go. We are steps away from the finale. This is crazy. It's only been, like a year and a half?
Yeah, I would say our rollout of this was uneven.
Oh, well. You'll forgive. A lot of people don't listen to the fruit part. People have told us that. They're like, when the fruit part starts, we skip it. Can't blame you, really.
This is a lose-lose situation because we know people skip it, but there's also a faction of hooting maniacs that demand it. You can't win.
You can't win. Anyway, that's all the time we have for Anime Sickos this week. Thank you for listening in, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to Anime Sickos. I've been Tom, a sicko. You can follow me on Twitter at TomHarrison19. Joe is also a sicko. You can follow him on Twitter at ShariaUncle. You can follow Anime Sickos on Twitter at Anime Sickos, or email us at animesickos@gmail.com. Please leave us a review or something. I don't know. Tell a friend. Anyway, until next time, bye.